Part 1. Cartesian Coordinate System. You will find this on page 190 in the Namibian Mathematics Grade 8 textbook, y equals mx plus c 2 success. Draw two number lines perpendicular to each other as shown in the diagram, a vertical line as well as an horizontal number line. In the Cartesian Coordinate System, the horizontal number line is called the x-axis, this one, and the vertical number line is called the y-axis. The point of intersection of the two lines is called the origin. In the middle there is the origin, denoted by the letter O. The axes divide the plane into four parts, known as the first, the second, the third, and the fourth quadrants. This is the first, this is the second, this is the third, and this is the fourth quadrant. The plane thus formed is called the Cartesian XY plane. This is the Cartesian XY plane, or the rectangular coordinate plane, another name for it. Okay, the position of any point in the plane can be determined by its distance from O using horizontal and vertical components. In this diagram, point A is 2 units to the right of the y-axis and 3 units above the x-axis. So basically, thus its position is given by the ordered pair A, 2 and 3. So look, if you draw a vertical line to the x-axis, it will be 2. And if you draw a line directly to the y-axis, it will be 3. So first the x value and then the y value. Okay, similar, the ordered pair -2 and 1 is given the position of B. So look, go to the x-axis, it's -2. Draw a line to the y-axis, it's 1. So that's the ordered pair of B. And in between the two numbers, you put a comma. Okay, and -1 and -3 represent point C. So look at point C, to the x-axis, -1, comma, to the y-axis, -3. Okay, given the ordered pair that determines point D, okay, so if we look at D, go to the x-axis, so the value of D will be 3 and make a comma, and then go to the y-axis, and that will be -2. That's the ordered pair of D. What's the ordered pair of O? That origin. So this will be 0, 0. And I close the line, the bracket. Okay. In general, each point P on the plane can be described by an ordered pair XY. We obtain the value of X from where the vertical line through P intersect the X-axis, and the value of Y from where the horizontal line through P intersect the Y-axis. We call X the X coordinate and Y the Y coordinate of P respectively. We often write the point P as XY. Therefore, we can locate a point if we know its X and its Y coordinates. So this is the X coordinate, this is the X coordinate, this is the Y coordinate. X coordinate, Y coordinate, and separated by a comma. Okay, let's look at an example. If we look at the following example, state the coordinates of points D, E, F, G, and H in the diagram above. Okay, let's start with D. Go directly to the X, a straight line to the X-axis, that's 1, and a straight line to the Y-axis, that's 2. So that's the coordinate point of D. If we go to point E, straight to the X-axis, -2, straight to the Y-axis, -1. So D, E, and if we go to point F, straight to the X-axis 2, straight to the Y-axis, -3, and a comma in between. F, so point G, okay, let's just see where is point G. Point G is on the X-axis, so if we're on the X-axis is 3, comma, and if we go to the Y-axis, 0. So G and then H, let's just find point H. Okay, H is on the Y-axis. So if we look, go to the X-axis, that's 0, and on the Y-axis, it will be -2. This 2 is a bit more complicated, so really concentrate. If you find a point on the x-axis, it will have only an x value. And if you find a point on the y-axis, it will only have a y value. The other values will be 0. And then the last point, state the quadrants in which D, E, and F lie. So look at D, it's in the first quadrant. And if you look at point E, it's in the third quadrant. And if you look at point F, it will be in the fourth quadrant. Okay, let's look at an example. I want you to stop the video and I want you to do try now 1. And as soon as you finish with the video, with the question, you can continue with the video. Okay, let's do try now 1. Okay, state the coordinates of points A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. So let's just write it down, A. So if we look at A, go straight to the x-axis, that's 3, then to the y-axis, that's also 3. And that will be the point 3 and 3. Okay, let's just look at the next one. Just want to find a position here. Okay, if I look at number B, we can even write it here. So if I go to B, straight to the x-axis, that will be -3. Then to the y-axis, and that will be 2. And if I find point C, okay, let's just find C, straight to the x-axis, that's -1. And then straight to the y-axis, that's -4. And then point D, okay, let's look at D. Straight to the x-axis, that's -2. And straight to the y-axis, where is D? That's also -2. And then if I find point E, let's just find it in the plane, the coordinate plane. Straight to the x-axis, that's 2. Straight to the y-axis, that's -3. And then if I find point F, okay, where was F? Let's just find F. F, it's on the x-axis, so it's -3, but the value of y will be 0. Okay, that's F. And if I find point G, G is on the y-axis, so what is the x value? That will be 0. The y value will be 2. And then point H is the origin, and that will always be 0, 0. Okay, that was question number A. Now let's go look at question number B. State the quadrants in which A, okay, let's just first find A. So A, that was the point 3 and 3, and that is lies in the first quadrant. Okay, and then point B, let's look at B. B, there is in the second quadrant, and that was -3 and 2, and that was in the second quadrant. And then it was point C. Look, C, it's in the third. Remember, this is the first, this is the second, this is the third, and this is the fourth quadrant. You go not clockwise, but anti-clockwise from that quadrant. Okay, so point C, and the value of C was -1 and -4, and it was in the third quadrant. And then it was point D. The point D, and look at point D. What was the coordinate of D? It was -2, -2. Let's just find it, D. So it was also in the third quadrant. And then point E, the last one, and that coordinate was 2 and -3. There is E, and that was in the fourth quadrant. Okay, and that's how we describe the following coordinate points.